Hey, Aspires. Listen, it's been a long time since I did a video like this. I think the last time was like 4 or so years ago. Um, but this one is going to be quick and it's going to be a straight run through because the way editing is set up, it's a lot of work. Um, well, first, let me update you guys on where I've been and what I've been up to. Uh, For the new subscribers, my name is Mo, uh, also known as Coach Mo, and I am the founder of Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger LLC and the Vast Community, which is a women's community where I empower healing women to work through their repetitive cycles and break them through group coaching and one-on-one coaching. And I also just share lots and lots of my life and who I am with those ladies. So if you want to check out the Vast Community, if you're interested in becoming part of the Vast Community, check out my website, aspirebiginspirebigger.com, and you can join us. Come hang out with us. The first 30 days is free, and then after that, it's just a small monthly fee to be part of the community where you network, you gain sisterhood, and it's a safe space for you to grow, okay? Because as a lady, um, we really need that. We really need that. We combat feeling not safe in uh, male dominated society, and also with our some of our female cohorts in this world. You know, some ladies don't know how to foster relationships that are safe and loving and kind. But the Vast Community is safe and loving and kind, and it's an accountability group, you know? So, also, this December 19th, we have a vision building seminar and empowerment seminar where I have a couple of speakers coming to speak with us, and you can get your tickets also at aspirebiginspirebigger.com. I definitely would love to see you there to come hang out with us. I really, really want this event to be so helpful to whoever comes and empowering. I just want to spread the love and just everything that we all have, all the speakers and I have to share. So, you're here because you saw the title and it said what I learned in 2021. We all know that 2020 was crazy, and I did learn a lot of lessons in 2020, but it was a year of reflection and year of really seeing all the things that I needed to work on. I got to see. And so in 2021, I got to work. You know, I feel like we were kind of suspended in 2020, and we didn't know what was happening from week to week and day to day. So I kind of stayed still in 2020. I didn't really. I started getting to work, but I really started reflecting in the beginning of 2021 and pushing myself in 2021. So these are the things that I learned. Number one, I have a list here, so I'm looking down and I'm going to read off of my list and then elaborate from there. So number one, it's okay to go through the process ugly. In my community, in the community that I joined in early 2020, it's called the Morning Meetup. So you guys check that out. And I'm going to put a link in the description for everything that is associated with anything that I talk about here. So you guys can click that link and you'll be able to see everything that I spoke about here. Any communities that I talk about, anything that I talk about, it will be on that link for the most part. I joined them on a meetup, and they have a saying there where it says "do it ugly," and a lot of times we hold ourselves back because we don't take the time to get started because everything has to be perfect. And we know that life is not perfect. There's not a perfect situation ever. If you want to do something, get started now and do it ugly. You can start a business today, um, and get your LLC next year. You understand what I'm saying? Like, or you can get your LLC and then work on building your business, your what your business is about, test it, learn to see if it's working out, and you'll be able to tweak it. And by the time people start getting to know your business, right? Because you're not going to just be popular on the first day that you make yourself Googleable. It's still going to take time, believe me. um, get all this stuff wrong while people don't know you. So this is your time to do it ugly. Get started today. Say nobody's gonna hear about your business for a whole year. This is your time to start doing everything wrong. So that you can learn how to do it right. Do it ugly. Get started now. And that goes for not only your business, obviously. I'm saying that because that's a lesson I learned from myself this year. I did it ugly. I just went for it. And there's some things that I had to change. There's some things that you can't fail because you started and you just evolve. So there's some things that I evolved in, and there's some things that I will continue to evolve with, um, and that's a blessing. So that's a lesson that I learned. Number one lesson that I learned: do it ugly, and that goes for many other things. There's some things that you need to understand what you're doing first, and you need to understand a lot about yourself before you get yourself into that situation. But there are other things that you're just holding yourself back because you think everything has to look perfect. Nobody even trusts perfect people. Like, there's no such thing. If you think you need to look perfect, speak perfect, nobody trusts you. So get over that. Number two, some of your goals this year will take the next 10 years to fulfill. That's real. That's real. You think because you love this idea that everyone else is going to love this idea the second they heard it? Well, since there's nothing new under the sun, just know that yes, you have an idea, and the way that you execute on it may be uh, something that is custom because we're all gifted um, in our own kind of fashion after, you know, after God. So we all have a little different kind of spunk and spice, but that idea, it's not new. Somebody 1,000 years ago thought of it. Even if it, even if Instagram is a newer thing, somebody thought of that idea before there was the internet. Because there's always a need for it because there's nothing new under the sun. So if you're a person who has gone through something and said, I want to help women all around the world who have gone through something similar or who have been processing life similarly because of their traumas, I'm here to tell you that you're not the first person, you're not the only one, because here I am doing that as well. And many women have done it before me, and many women are beside me doing the same thing. And some of them, and none of them are my rivals, and some of them I work with closely. So you're not going to be the only one who does the thing that you thought of. And because of that, you have to understand that you have to flesh that thing out. And because you thought of it today doesn't mean that it's going to happen tomorrow. There's so many women who are still working on things that they started 10, 15, 20 years ago. And they will continue to work on that. It's your life's work. So if you want to do something, be committed to it for your lifetime. There's something that I always and that I really ingested last year. So I say it often now. There are people who started something in generation. The next generation are the people who saw it through, right? So you look at Martin Luther King. I just watched a small interview with Halle Berry, and you know she played Dorothy Dandridge. It's always hard for me to say Dorothy's last name properly. I'm sorry, Miss Dorothy. Um, she played Dorothy Dandridge in a movie, and she also won an Oscar for Monsters Ball, right? And so she played Dorothy, and then she won the Oscar for Monsters Ball. And if anybody knows the history, Dorothy went to the Oscars when she was alive, and she was nominated, but she did not win. And we all know at that time, um, black people were not represented well in American society, any society, but and the work that Dorothy did was no less hard, or she didn't work less hard than Halle. She just was born in a time where she went for something, but she wasn't quite able to get through to the whole scope of it because of where she was. But Halle said when she won that night, she woke up the next morning. She was like, "Oh my goodness, I finished a goal for Dorothy. This was for Dorothy." So I'm saying that to say you may start something and it be a huge vision, God-given vision that spans beyond your generation. Don't be so selfish as to start and stop because you're not going to be the one who's able to see it through fully. Because you're not just here for you. So, some of your goals this year will take you over the span of the next 10 years to fulfill. Might take you a lifetime. And you might have to leave it in someone's hands to fulfill. That's a lesson that I learned this year, and I want you to be okay with that. All right. The third lesson, these are going to be 5 lessons, so number 3 is you are capable, you're just not consistent. So there are a lot of people who feel like this thing is too big for me, I'm not big enough for this thing, and it kind of ties into what I just said, like this thing may take longer than you thought it would, but you're able to do this. And an example of this, if you're consistent, an example of this for me was without talking to my family about it, without looking for anybody to pat me on the back or anything, I at 36 or yeah, finally went back to school to get my degree, to get a degree, one of the 3 that I'll be getting. And it's 3 because I have to do it in a certain order, not because you need 3 degrees in order to get to this place. But I had to do extra in order to get where I wanted to be, and that was evident for me for the past 12 years. And so I would start and stop because I felt like going back to the last lesson that it would take so long and I would be behind. Now that sounds crazy. So now I'm 12 years further away from how far I thought I was going to be 12 years ago. You know, I could have been where I could have been at my goal by now, right? But I'm not saying that as to down myself. I'm just saying the truth. So, but the truth was I was always capable because not only did I go back to school, but I did it as I did it and I got such a high GPA, something that I've never experienced, right? School was never really my thing. So, as of now, as far as I know, I mean, I haven't got my final, this is my last week. Um, but as far as I know, I should have like a 3.7, 3.8. I never in my life. Oh, what? A 3? What? Mm-mm. That wasn't me as a student. I know there are many of y'all who have, I ain't, it's about one person in this world. I heard somebody got a 5.0 somewhere. God bless you. But as for me in my house, I ain't never got no grades like this. And it's because I was consistent. It wasn't because it was easier, because I was older and I got life more. Listen, y'all. And this is not even all the way in my personality, but or my, how I handle things. But I want to tell y'all, I cried 3 times a week for the past 2 years. Okay, getting this degree because it was hard. It was hard. I am still working a uh like picture it. I'm working a 9 to 5. I'm building a business, learning new things about business in general, learning new things about myself through building a business, breaking through personal, emotional, mental, spiritual barriers um, that I had through building this business and needing to build myself so that I can be this, you know, better and stronger in business. And then going to school full time, with a high GPA, something I've never done. So something I didn't kind of think I was capable of. Going back to, it's not that you're not capable, it's that you're not consistent. I was consistent this time. That's lesson number 3. You are very capable. You just ain't consistent. Okay? I keep making that face because I don't, okay? I don't want you to be mad, but that's the truth. And you owe it to yourself. You deserve to be consistent. You deserve everything that comes from a consistent person. It's a lot of blessings in being consistent. You deserve that. Number 4, until you own your space, don't share it. This is big. This is big. So there's some of you who have gotten over the hurdle of starting, and you're doing it ugly. Until you get to the space where you know what you're doing, don't try to and I know this might be something different than a business coach might tell you, or I don't think it is, but might be something different than what you thought was best. But sometimes we don't believe in ourselves so much that we are afraid to do it on our own. And when I say on our own, I mean use our own creativity, learn how to plan uh, and break down under that creative thought and see it through. We're afraid to do that because if we fail, whatever creative thought we had, we feel like we failed we whatever creative thoughts we create are not good enough because we didn't get to what we thought where we wanted to be, and that's not true. You have so many creative thoughts that you don't write down, that you don't think twice about in your mind, and maybe all of them will not come to fruition. But when you have one that you wrote down and you want to make something of it for a lifetime, or just see it through, this might be a 12-month project, and you have something that you want to see through, I want you to ensure that you see it through before you start adding 100 other spoons in the pot. One spoon will stir the stew. Make the stew first, okay? And then let people taste it. You get to the middle and you start feeling down on yourself, feeling like maybe I need help from this person, or somebody will come to you. And I have experiences for sure. Somebody will come to you and say, I see what you're doing here, and I would love to see how I can add to it. But really, the truth is, I want to be totally transparent with y'all. The truth is, they're too afraid to do what they thought of doing on their own. And they will come, and everything you do will just be wrong all of a sudden. They think that you can do this different and that different. When the reality is, if you think that everything that I'm doing right now should be different, then you should be doing your own thing the way that you think is right. Don't come over here if you have nothing that you created and expect me to change everything that I am building to create. And the only way that that can happen to you is if you haven't got your feet set surely on what you want and how you want it to be. So before you start adding a bunch of people to an idea, think it through, work it out, test it, try it, get it to where you are solid and understand what the mission, what the what the goal is with this, and then you can find out where you need spaces filled, and find those exact type of people who can fill those spaces and put them there. And when and on a trial period too. So hey, listen, I have this project or I have this thing going on, and here I will need this assistance here. And if they come and they mess it up, you can take them out and try someone else until you find who's equipped. Okay? These people are supposed to be here to assist you. We're all here to serve. We're all here on this earth to serve. So find a person that serves you well in that area. But you can't find a person that serves until you know what you need help with serving. And you find out what you need help with when you establish yourself. So establish yourself first, and then you can add some people on it. That is number 4. That's real. Like, so many people get their life purpose or their a huge creative idea stolen from them because they're scared to do it. They're scared to be responsible for the work that they put in to make this thing happen. Don't let that be you. Own it. Okay? Number 5, because I could just keep going there, right? Number 5, and last one. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. And stop subscribing to everything. Alright, that could be literal. Like, you don't need to subscribe to Discovery Plus and Netflix and Hulu, and you don't need to subscribe to every app. Because sometimes if you put a spreadsheet together, and I know this sounds funny, it might sound funny, but it might be real to somebody. Somebody might be saying, she see my bank account. Well, if you put a spreadsheet together of all the subscriptions that you have, sometimes you could be paying $1,000 a month on ridiculousness. And you didn't realize, like, I'm wondering why I never have money to go on vacation. I wonder why I never have money when I want to go out and my friends invite me somewhere. I'm like, well, where are we going? Because I don't know if I have the money to do all of that. Because you're paying for all these subscriptions. But I didn't mean it literally when I wrote that down. I kind of meant it figuratively. Y'all. Y'all, I've been sick for a little over a week, and my right ear is super clogged up. So, I'm trying to say some words. Some words are just not working out for me. What I meant was, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Some people will speak certain things into your life. Some people will talk down on you because of how they feel about themselves. I know you probably have heard that a million times, and it's true. Let it, let that sink in. Apply that to your life because that's real. Um, but also, a lot of people are in get into an uproar about something that someone says that has nothing to do with their life. Everybody talks about this person, and you know, whatever. But or, there's this red pill, blue pill, Kevin Samuels people, and I want to be honest. Like, it doesn't mean that I don't know anything about it because I checked out some of the stuff, but I really, it doesn't really affect me, and I don't like when people are mistreated. Right? That affects me. So if I see him talking to a woman or a man or whoever, talking down to them, I'm disgusted, right? But I'm not going to apply anything he says about women or men to my daily life because I don't even subscribe to that train of thought. So stop letting people's life doctrine. Some people don't even believe what they're pushing. They just want people to see them. Be mindful of that. So don't let everything, if you let anything and everything sway you or make you feel like you're less than, you're in trouble. Okay? And that's another thing that has been said uh, throughout time. If it doesn't fly, let it fly. And also, um, the truth is, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for everything. So keep that in mind. Know what you stand for, and anything that doesn't line up with that, I'm not saying reject everything because everything isn't bad. There are new lessons in life. But if it really doesn't line up with how you understand peace and joy and how you're fulfilled within and how you love others and how you want others to love you, stop applying that junk. Stop functioning in this world as if those things are absolutes. Because half of the people preaching this stuff, first of all, they don't even live by, they don't practice what they preach because they don't even believe it themselves. They just want to be popular. Okay? So, that's it. That's all and that's it. Those are the 5 things that I learned, the 5 biggest things that I learned in 2021. And I hope they spoke to you and I hope they helped you. Remember to subscribe. Leave me a comment down below on one of the biggest lessons that you've learned in 2021. And remember, December 19th from 12 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, I'm having a virtual empowerment and vision board seminar that I want you guys to come to. Man or woman, I want you to register ASAP. You have a couple of, oh, wait, I don't even, okay. December 6th is today. You have today to press the button and subscribe. It's not, come on, y'all. Press the button and subscribe. And register, I'm sorry. Press the button and register. And get a ticket. Get yourself started for 2022. You need this. You need this. If any of these lessons resonated with you, and these are something that feel new to you or speak to your soul or whatever it is, come on, register. We need to do this together, okay? We need to work on us in 2022 every day, just like we did in 2021 and 2020, so on and so forth. I cannot wait to see you all there. What I was saying earlier was subscribe to this channel here. Turn your bell notifications on. 2022 is going to bring a different feel, understanding with this channel. It's going to still be inspirational and all of that, but more to come in 2022, I should say. So turn your bell notifications on so that you don't miss any of that. And like I said, comment below one lesson, deep lesson that you learned in 2021 that you know others will be blessed by. All right? Later, y'all.